Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome into another episode of YouTube Live, where I am going to share with you some of my thoughts on something going on in the beauty and barber business. Hope you're doing well. Hope you are busy. It's holiday season as I'm posting this video, but I hope whenever you see this video, because you know it's going to live on and it's going to be on YouTube for a while, I hope you're still busy. So you know how the rules work when we go live here. Chat is open if you've got questions, comments, contributions, or things you want to participate in the conversation about. Hit me up there and we'll talk about that. Remember, turn on your notifications so you don't ever miss these. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment on the video, share it with somebody. Let's get these conversations rolling and let's help you build and grow your business. What I want to talk about today is the idea of clients moving upmarket. And I think there's a huge opportunity for us to talk about growing our business in the next decade. You know, 2020 is just looming, 10 days away, maybe a little more, give or take, but very, very close. And we as humans, maybe we as Americans for sure, tend to divide things up by the decades. Now, don't tell me that the next decade doesn't really start for another year, because 2021 is the beginning of the decade. As soon as we put the 20 when we write our checks and when we sign things and everything, it's the next decade, guys. Call it what you want. We're here. And I think we've got an opportunity in this next decade where we kind of mark off what were the decades about in the business and how we talk about that. Some of you that have seen me talk live at shows and events know that we talk about the decades of the barber industry history in America. But let's talk about a little bit of history. Let's talk about what I mean by clients trading up market, because I think it represents a growth opportunity for us in the coming year. Speaking of the coming year, 100 by 100, 100 new haircut customers in 100 days. My new book is in pre-order now. I made the commitment that all paper copies would ship on or before January 23, and I'm excited to announce we're moving that date up. All paper copies of 100 by 100 are going to ship on or before January 1. So within just less than 2 weeks, anybody who pre-orders online at clipperguy.com, the books are going in the mail, so you'll have yours on the way. This is my day-by-day, step-by-step 100-day guide to gaining 100 new customers. So I'm excited to share it. Is that Maria? Good to have you in here. On the comments. Thanks for being here. So get your pre-orders in, clipperguy.com. Get your copy of 100 by 100. Also note, I still have the hot price on $100,000 Hair Cutter. Best-selling book, lowest price ever now through the end of the year. You can get a paper copy of this book for just $10. So I encourage you to jump on that. But let's talk a little history, and let's talk about what I mean about clients trading or moving up market. Let's go back. Let's go back to 2008, 2009, when the economy in the United States kind of stumbled and skidded a bit, when things slipped, when things weren't so great. At the time, was back when I was working for the Andis Company, and in 08, 09, when the economy stumbled, we saw clients doing what we call trading down market. It was very common. It was interesting to watch from a manufacturer's perspective and to watch the industry when the economy stumbled. And the way I explained it to people was like this. Anyone in 08, 09, majority of Americans, they traded down market on their hair cutting. So anyone who was buying an expensive haircut downtown at a fancy salon, well, they went to a salon in their neighborhood. Anybody who had buying a haircut at a shop or salon in their neighborhood, well, those folks kind of went to a chain salon out by the mall. Anyone who was buying a haircut at a chain salon out by the mall, some of them went to Walmart and picked up a clipper, started cutting their hair at home. Everybody took a step down in the market. They were looking to save money. They were tightening their belt. And the thing they were really doing, I think, at the heart of all of this, is they were looking at the cost-value relationship of what they were getting. And what was interesting from my perspective at the time with Andis was 08, 09, our sale of home clipper kits took off like a rocket. We couldn't get these out of China fast enough to get them to the dealers, to get them in stock, to sell them fast enough. They were just with a bullet. Everybody wanted a home clipper kit for exactly that reason. The other interesting thing that happened was the demand for haircut education at the chain salon level exploded. And now you got to remember, I call the decade of the zeros, 2000 to 2010, I call that in America the decade of the chains, because that was a time at which chain salons just exploded. And that decade finished with their explosive growth coming from people trading down market. The chains were hungry for education because I think the chains understood that at that time, when people were trying them who wouldn't normally try them, they'd paid more for a haircut, they'd gone somewhere else, they were tightening their belt, they were looking for value, they came looking to chain shops and chain salons. And the chain salons rightfully understood, we've got one chance. We've got people considering us, coming to us, trying us, buying us, who might not have ever considered us before. And we have an incredible opportunity that if they come to us, try us, and buy us, and we truly satisfy them, we represent value for the money, we represent quality, we represent a positive experience. If we do all of those things, we got them. And when the economy recovers, they will stick with us, because they will then say, why would I pay more when I can be happy with what I get paying less? And folks, I'm here to tell you, that is exactly what happened. That is exactly what happened to the industry in 08, 09, when people traded down market. Now, some people went down market to a chain salon, didn't like the experience, and went right back where they came from. Of course, that can happen. But there are other people who went down market who identified a lower cost option that they found to be more than very satisfactory. And I think this goes a long way to complimenting just how great a job the chains really do with their systems and programs and procedures and everything else they have in place. They know good stuff, and they do good stuff, let's be honest. Many people traded down market into the chains and have never left. And here we are 12 years later, they're still there. And the chains are taking good care of them, and people are happy to be there, and the chains are happy to have them. So in many ways, that was a fundamental change that has not unwound itself or undone itself in that time frame. Good to know the history, good to understand how it happened, but it certainly helped lock in the last of that decade for the low price, high volume sector of the haircutting marketplace. Well, here we are at the end of a decade that arguably was largely defined for the beauty and barber industry by the impact of social media, by the impact of social media influencers driving trend, by the impact of social media as an advertising and communications medium, by the impact of social media as a referral driver. We all benefited from all of this. Some of us didn't do as well because we weren't as savvy in the platforms. Others of us have learned along the way and are doing better and better with it. But the bottom line is that decade of social, in many ways, is very over. And we're looking at this next decade. And while I have strong feelings about what will drive this next decade for our industry, and we'll talk about that in detail in another video, I do think there's another opportunity that relates to this. And that is the notion of clients trading up market, where they traded down market seeking to pay less, understanding they would get less, and being okay with that. I think there's an opportunity to ask clients to trade up. I think there's an opportunity to ask clients to pay more, and in exchange for that, get more, and in exchange for that, be happy with more. That there's people seeking more. I think in turbulent times, and there's no question that in our country, politically, economically, it is socially, it is fair to say, things are mighty turbulent right now. I think people are looking for, in a high-tech world, things that are high touch. And our industry, our connection to people, our serving of individuals, our physical contact with people, we touch them when we deliver our services. I think it creates huge opportunities in a stressed and in a challenging environment to really connect with people in a very positive way. So I challenge everyone with the idea that if you are prepared to do more, if you are prepared to be more, if you are prepared to give more, if you are prepared to provide more, I think it is very fair and reasonable in that environment to charge more, to ask for more, to charge and to take more in exchange for more. While less, it's okay if less is less. It is also okay. We got to get our head right with the idea that less is okay for less, but more is okay for more. So the challenge really is to all of us to ask the question, what can we do in our shop, behind our chair, interacting with customers every single day? What can we do to be more, to deliver more? How can we enhance our environment inexpensively? How can we enhance our customer service experience? How can we enhance the technical aspects of the services that we deliver? How can we even enhance simply our take home, our retail offerings? There's so many opportunities. One of the cool things about the business, and one of the things about 100 by 100, 100 new haircut customers in 100 days, is the idea there is so much you can do to have more business. I think it just requires us to take the initiative to go out and do. So I want to welcome you to reach out to me. Patreon.com/Ivan Zoot is my online community. I do try to be really good about responding to comments in the YouTube platform on the individual videos we have out there. But I think trading upmarket, asking clients to move upmarket with us is a great opportunity. And, you know, as we move upmarket, I think it also bears discussing that there are going to be opportunities for clients who don't want to come up market with us, yet still stay in our shop or still stay within our business, because it's not going to be for everyone. But I think for those who wish to offer more, I think giving more, doing more, being more, and asking for more can be a very real part of what we do in this next decade. You know, as I've gotten older in the business, I certainly am aware of, you know, that expiration date on my career, that there will come a point in time in which I won't, can't, or don't do what I do anymore. And if you've only got so many haircuts in you, I think it's more important that each of those haircuts is a little more meaningful and perhaps a little more profitable every time you have that interaction or that exchange with a client. So like the video, share the video, subscribe, turn on your notifications, do all the things you need to do there. $100,000 haircutter and 100 by 100, the two books, both of them special promotions online at clipperguy.com. I appreciate you tuning in today, and we'll see you again next week. Have a great day and have a happy holiday season.